Good morning, LC Middle School students. This is Mr. Woolley. And remember, the information contained in this video is intended to be viewed only by the students in Mr. Woolley's classroom. By watching the video, you agree that you will not record or share the video with anyone who is not a student in Mr. Woolley's classroom. All right, we're in our last lesson out of our Module 2 today. So it's Lesson 23, Solving Equations Using Algebra. So we're going to kind of split this lesson up into a couple days because there's a lot of good material here and I don't want to skim over it. I want to make sure we take our time to do these. So for today, we're going to take a look at a whole bunch of word problems, and they kind of break them down into some explanations that'll help the problem make sense too. All right, so on number 1 here, it says the youth group is going on a trip to an amusement park in another part of the state. The trip cost each group member $150, which includes $85 for the hotel and then 2 of the one-day combo entrance meal plan passes. So now let's write an equation representing the cost of this trip. Let P be the cost of the park pass. So I have to use a P. Now, we're getting 2 of the passes. We don't know what they are, though, so 2P. Plus, we already know we're going to spend $85 for the hotel. So the grand total is going to be $150. So now, if I solve that, remember, I take away the 85 first from each side. So instead of plus 85, we minus 85. Left with 2P equals 65. So that's how much you spend on the 2 park passes. Well, divide by 2, because we don't want 2 of them. We want to find out what the cost of one of them is. Divide by 2, and we get P equals $32.50. So a park pass costs $32.50. You can have a tape diagram that double checks that. You get a park pass for one day, park pass the next day, and your hotel stay should equal $150. And then we know that $32.50 plus $32.50 plus the 85 does equal the $150. So there we go. All right, moving on to our next page. Suppose you want to buy your favorite ice cream bar at the amusement park and it costs $2.89. If you purchase the ice cream bar and 3 bottles of water, pay the $10 bill and receive no change, then how much did each bottle of water cost? So our bill is apparently $10 exactly. So I did get 3 water bottles, so I just use a W for water bottles, plus the $2.89 you did spend on the ice cream bar, and that should be a total of $10. So if you solve that, take away the $2.89 because you get the water bottle or the ice cream cost out of there. So you're left with 3 water bottles cost $7.11. So I don't want the cost of all 3, I want the cost of 1. So divide by 3, and I get W equals $2.37. So that's what we know our cost is. And of course we can verify that with a tape diagram. 3 of our W's plus $2.89. If you have 237 in there 3 times plus 89, it does give you $10. Next up, number 2. It says Charlotte receives a weekly allowance from her parents. She spent half of this week's allowance at the movies, but earned an additional $4 for performing extra chores. If she did not spend any additional money and finished the week with $12, what's Charlotte's weekly allowance? Now it wants us to write an equation that can be used to find the original amount of Charlotte's weekly allowance. Let A be the value of Charlotte's original weekly allowance. So we know she spent half of it, which also means she still has half of it left. So she has half of the allowance left, so half of A, plus the extra $4 she got. That's why she has $12 right now. So if I do go ahead and solve that, get rid of the extra money first, so get rid of that 4. Half of the allowance is 8. So instead of times them by half, we divide by half. And 8 divided by half, remember, if I'm dividing with fractions, they both got to be fractions. So I get 8 over 1 divided by half. And now I can keep change flip. 8 over 1 times 2 over 1 gives me 16 over 1 or 16. But her allowance is $16. So what does that mean? Her allowance is $16 a week. So does it make sense with the problem? Well, if the allowance is $16 and she still saved half of it, that's 8. Plus the $4, yes, that does make sense that it's 12. So over here in part D, they got another little part for us. It says Charlotte's goal is to save $100 for her beach trip at the end of the summer. Use the amount of weekly allowance you found in part C, the $16 that we just found, to write an equation to determine the number of weeks Charlotte must work to meet her goal. Let W represent the number of weeks. Well, if she's making $16 a week, times however many weeks she's going to save for, trying to get to that 100, let's find out how long it takes. So divide by 16, W 6.25. Now, her parents don't pay her 0.25 the way through the week, so it's actually going to take 7 weeks because it's 6 and more, the 0.25. So she actually has to work for 7 weeks there to get her allowance. So do you think she'll take that many weeks to meet her goal? Well, she'll need part of the 7 weeks allowance and not to spend any other money, but knowing the fact that summer's 12 weeks long, she should be able to afford that trip to the beach. All right, number 3. This one's going to kind of continue on with a couple parts to it here. It says Alan's very excited about joining a travel baseball team for the fall season. He wants to determine how much money he should save to pay for expenses related to this new team. Players are required to pay for uniforms, travel expenses, and meals. If Alan buys 4 uniform shirts at one time, he gets a $10 discount. So the total cost of the 4 shirts would be $44. Write an equation that represents the cost of one regular price of one shirt and solve the equation. So if you buy 4 shirts, they take $10 off the price. So 4s, I use a little s there, minus 10, because you're getting a $10 discount, and it brings your price down to $44. So instead of minus 10, we add 10 to each side. So 4 shirts would have cost you normally $54, but divide by 4, and then it's $13.50. So the regular price of a shirt would have been $13.50. So let me just repeat that again up here. The cost of one shirt's $13.50. Now what's the cost of one shirt with that discount? Well, thinking back to the original problem, you're getting 4 shirts, and since you did get the discount, it's only going to be $44. So divide each side by 4 to figure out the cost of one shirt, and you're going to only pay $11 per shirt. So originally they would have been $13.50 a shirt, but you got the discount, so now it's only $11 per shirt. So really you saved $2.50 per shirt. So you would have paid $2.50 more. All right. Now Alan's team was also required to buy 2 pairs of uniform pants and 2 baseball caps, which total $68. A pair of pants costs $12 more than a baseball cap. Write an equation that models the situation. Let C represent the cost of a baseball cap. So our cap is going to be just C. We don't know the price of that. The pants we're going to call C plus 12 because it's the cost of the cap plus an extra 12. Because remember, the pants cost $12 more than the cap. So here's C. We don't know the price of the cap. I don't know what the pants is. They're $12 more than what the cap was. So it's C plus 12. Now keep in mind, you needed 2 caps and 2 pairs of pants. So I have 2 of the C's and 2 of the C plus 12s. 2 pairs of pants. Now I did distribute here. So I have 2C plus 24 because 2 times C gives me 2C. 2 times 12 gives me the 24. Now I can actually combine this. It's called collecting like terms. 2 C's together make 4 C's plus 24 equals 68. And I get rid of the 24 on each side there. Left with 4C equals 44 and C equals 11. So my cap was 11. And of course the pants are going to be $12 more than that. So take 11 plus $12 more and you get $23. So over the next page, we've already kind of solved it there. And you can use a tape diagram if you want. A cap, pants equals 68. And if you figure out you got 11, 11, 23, and 23, it does equal 68. So of course the cap is $11 and the pants are 23. So thanks for watching, and we'll cover some more of these tomorrow.